In this video, we're going to talk about one of the planet's most iconic and powerful animals, the bear. But, there's so much more to them than just brute strength. We're talking surprising intelligence and really complex social lives. We're going to break it all down. Okay, let's dive in. So here's how we're going to tackle this. We'll start with the big picture stats, then we'll zoom right into the life of an individual bear, explore their social world, which is way more complex than you think, and we'll finish up with some abilities that are honestly basically superpowers. First up, let's get a sense of scale, and just look at bears by the numbers. So the brown bear, it's the most widely distributed bear on the entire planet. The global population sits at around 200,000. And if you're wondering where most of them are, well, Russia is the hotspot, home to a staggering 120,000 of them. But check this out, when we focus just on North America, the story gets really interesting. You've got 3 totally different species here, and just look at those numbers. The American black bear at 600,000 just completely dwarfs the brown and polar bear populations. It's an amazing story of just how adaptable they are. And you can really see how these population differences play out in their day-to-day lives. The black bear is everywhere, from forests to mountains, which is a huge contrast to the polar bear, who's a total specialist, sticking to the Arctic. And you can even see these little differences in how they live, from their lifespan to how many cubs they typically raise. Okay, so now that we have the big picture, let's zoom in a bit. Let's look at the life cycle of a single bear, from its ancient family tree to its pretty remarkable journey into the world. So yeah, we all know bears are mammals, right? But here is a wild fact for you. Their family tree, which is called Ursidae, actually branched off from a creature that was also an ancestor to modern dogs. It's a pretty surprising link, connecting 2 of today's most famous carnivores way back in the past. Alright, you have to hear about this, because this is one of the most incredible reproductive strategies in all of nature. So after mating, the fertilized egg doesn't just start developing, it waits. The mother bear has all summer and fall to pack on the pounds. If she gains enough fat, then the embryo implants. If she doesn't, her body just absorbs it. It's this amazing system that makes sure cubs are only born when the mom has a real fighting chance to keep them and herself alive through that tough winter. And their diets? Man, they're just as varied as their homes. On one end of the scale, you have the polar bear, a true hypercarnivore. Its diet is almost all meat. On the complete other end, you have the super flexible black bear, a total omnivore. And then right in the middle, you have brown bears, who just adapt to wherever they are, feasting on salmon near the coast, while their cousins inland are relying mostly on plants. Now, we have this image of bears as these solitary animals, right? Spending their lives all alone except for when they're mating or raising cubs. But is that the whole story? Let's kind of challenge that idea. Well, the short answer is not really. The evidence points to a surprisingly complex social world, one that's full of hierarchies, friendships, and even rivalries. The classic view isn't totally wrong. I mean, there is a pecking order, and yeah, the big, mature males are usually at the top. But new research is showing something way more fascinating. For American black bears, it looks like the real power structure is actually based on the female family lines. Related females create these complex social networks to control territory and food, and they pass that status down through generations. And out in the wild, their relationship with wolves is this perfect example of competition. Bears are masters at what scientists call interference competition, which is basically just bullying wolves and stealing their kills. But they also compete by going after the same prey, like newborn moose. But for all that toughness, their ability to form friendships is profound. There's this one story of a captive brown bear who actually mourned his sister's death. He slept a third less, became withdrawn. It just points to this deep emotional life that we're only just starting to get. Okay, for our last section, let's look at the abilities that truly set bears apart. Seriously, these are like their superpowers, and they show an intelligence that goes way beyond just being big and strong. Just listen to some of this stuff. A bear's brain, compared to its body size, is the biggest of any carnivore. They use tools. Wild bears have literally been seen picking up rocks to scratch an itch they can't reach. They even have a specific play face to signal to other bears that, hey, it's time to have some fun. And their intelligence isn't just social. They can count. Black bears have shown they have numerical skills on par with monkeys. And the resilience? It's just inspiring. Rescued bears that are blind or have missing limbs have learned to climb and get around, proving they have this incredible ability to adapt. So, from their complex family dynamics to their incredible intelligence and emotional depth, the evidence is pretty clear. Bears are so much more than those solitary myths we grew up with. I guess the real question it leaves us with is this. Isn't it time we all saw them in a new light? Alrighty, that is it for this video, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video.